My friend, come closer. Listen to me. Look into your own eyes in that mirror before you. Really look. Do you see the champion staring back at you? Or do you see someone who's been waiting? Waiting for permission, waiting for the right moment, waiting for someone else to believe in you first. I know that feeling. I've lived that hesitation. But let me share with you the secret I discovered on my journey. The secret that transformed a skinny boy from Madeira into a man who dared to dream impossible dreams and make them reality. I was just 15 years old when I arrived in Lisbon. The distance from my home felt enormous, an ocean of separation from everything familiar. I spoke with a Madeiran accent that made other kids laugh, sometimes to my face, sometimes behind my back, but always within earshot. I was so thin, so physically underdeveloped, that coaches would look at me with pity in their eyes. They saw talent, yes, but they worried this fragile body wouldn't survive the brutal demands of professional football. I remember nights lying awake in the academy dormitory, the silence echoing my own doubts. But then I'd rise, walk to that small mirror in our shared bathroom, and look myself dead in the eye. Cristiano, I would whisper, they will remember your name. It wasn't arrogance. It wasn't boastfulness. It was a promise, a sacred vow between me and the reflection staring back at me. That promise became my anchor in stormy seas. When the homesickness threatened to drown me, I remembered that vow. When the mocking voices grew loudest, I clung to that promise. When my body ached from pushing beyond what I thought were my limits, I returned to that commitment. This is where it all begins, with that fundamental decision to believe in yourself when nobody else does. When evidence suggests you shouldn't. When logic screams that you're being foolish. This belief isn't something you find, it's something you build, brick by brick, day by day, through consistent action that reinforces your own trust in yourself. I know that voice in your head, the one that whispers, "You're not good enough," when you contemplate trying something new. The one that murmurs, "They're better than you," when you witness others succeeding where you haven't yet. The one that loudly questions, "What if you fail?" Precisely when you're standing at the edge of taking that crucial risk. That voice haunted me too. Before every significant match, during every critical moment, in the silence before the storm of competition, that voice would surface. It's a universal human experience, this inner critic that seeks to protect us by keeping us small, by keeping us safe within our comfort zones. Let me share a specific moment when that voice screamed its loudest. The 2016 European Championship final. The stadium pulsed with energy, the air thick with anticipation. And then, in the 25th minute, it happened. A collision that left my knee screaming in agony, my heart breaking with the realization that my dream of leading Portugal to glory might be ending right there on that pitch. That voice I mentioned, it was roaring now. "This is it said. "Your dream is over. You've let your country down. You failed when it mattered most." The pain was excruciating, but the psychological torment was even more brutal. Yet in that moment of absolute devastation, I made a choice. I looked at that voice, acknowledged its presence, and then firmly said, "No. Even if I cannot play, I will still lead." What followed were the longest, most emotionally draining hours of my career. As they carried me off on that stretcher, tears mixing with sweat on my face, I made a decision. I would become the coach on that sideline. I would shout. I would motivate. I would analyze. I would live every single moment with my team. When Alair scored that winning goal in extra time, the explosion of joy wasn't just about the victory. It was about the validation that even when circumstances seem to have taken you out of the game, your spirit, your belief, your influence can still shape the outcome. That moment taught me that our greatest power isn't in avoiding falls, but in how we rise after them. People see the goals I score now. They witness the trophies lifted, the celebrations, the glory moments. What remains invisible are the 3 a.m. training sessions, the thousands of sit ups completed while others slept, the days I pushed until my body rebelled and I found myself vomiting from exhaustion, only to wipe my mouth and continue. This invisible work, this relentless, often lonely dedication forms the foundation upon which belief is built. You cannot genuinely believe in yourself if you haven't put in the work that makes that belief reasonable. Let me ask you something deeply personal. When was the last time you kept a meaningful promise to yourself? That gym session you skipped, claiming you were too tired? That book you didn't read because you were too busy scrolling through social media? That project you delayed waiting for perfect conditions that never arrived? Every time you break a promise to yourself, you're sending a powerful message to your subconscious mind. I don't matter enough to keep my word. This self betrayal erodes belief from the inside, creating cracks in your foundation that eventually manifest as self doubt, procrastination, and that nagging feeling of being stuck. Transformation begins with small, consistent promises kept. Wake up 30 minutes earlier than usual and use that time productively. Read just 10 pages of that book gathering dust on yourself. Do 20 push ups even when you feel exhausted. Drink that extra glass of water instead of reaching for soda. When you keep these small promises to yourself, you build something extraordinary: self trust. And when you trust yourself to follow through on what you say you'll do, you'll naturally begin to believe in your ability to handle bigger challenges, to pursue grander dreams, to become the person you know deep down you're meant to be. In 2016, following that triumphant European Championship, I suffered what doctors described as the worst injury of my career. My knee was totally destroyed. Torn ligaments, damaged cartilage, the works. The medical experts used careful, measured language. Their eyes told the true story. I might never play the same way again. For 3 agonizing months, every day brought fresh pain. Every rehabilitation session felt like torture. There were moments where I questioned everything, when I wondered if this was how it would end, not with a glorious retirement, but with a slow, painful decline into mediocrity. You know what I discovered during those dark days? Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your most demanding teacher. It teaches you what you're truly made of. It shows you your perceived limits so you can gather the courage to break through them. It strips away non essentials and forces you to confront your core identity. The pain of that injury taught me more about resilience, about patience, about the deep, often untapped reserves of mental strength than any victory ever could. Whatever pain you're experiencing right now, whether it's the sting of failing an important exam, the devastation of losing a job, the heartache of a relationship ending, or simply the confusing pain of feeling lost and directionless, that pain is preparing you for something greater. It's carving out space inside you for wisdom, for strength, for empathy that you cannot acquire through comfort alone. Don't run from your pain. Don't numb it with distractions. Lean into it. Listen to its lessons. Let it strengthen you in ways that easy times never could. Your greatest breakthroughs often wait on the other side of your most painful breakdowns. Before every significant match, I engage in a powerful ritual that has become as crucial to my preparation as physical training. I find a quiet space, close my eyes, and consciously shut out the external world. I don't see the roaring stadium. I don't hear the chanting crowds. I don't feel the pressure of expectations. Instead, I see myself executing perfect plays. I feel the ball connecting with my foot in that sweet spot. I experience the sensation of the ball hitting the back of the net. I've already won the game in my mind dozens of times before I ever step onto the actual pitch. This practice, visualization, isn't mystical nonsense. It's neurological programming. Your brain, remarkably, doesn't effectively distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you actually